Hello ladies and mental gens, it's Armstrong here from Other Miniatures, and today I'm just gonna be showing off what I'm working on at the moment. It is a Warhammer 40k edition because I only work on something from 40k really at that point. So I actually started painting my minis. I know it's shocking, and I started painting a lot of them at the same time, which is even more shocking. So yeah, let's start from the test model. Yeah. So that was the test model that I painted. I have like 50 odd of the exactly the same scope. Yeah. And this is for my 13s. So I decided to go back to the green color. Yeah. So I'm gonna be keeping with the green armor scheme. And it's basically Sons of Vulcan at this stage, yeah, color scheme wise. They are black shoulder pads, a green color, yeah. And I'm gonna be adding much more bionics as I go. But there you go, that's the test model, you know. So we have first of all I used like a dark green. Then which one was that exactly? I have like 4 or 5 different colors of green on my desk right now, and I just cannot remember which one was the base tone. But you know, like after that I used the slot green and goblin green as the highlights, and the base one was Dark Angels green actually. So it is just basically Dark Angels green, Slot green, Goblin green, yeah. And to paint the color scheme, I use this. I'm gonna be honest, I never thought that I would be using the blender to paint minis, but that's what we are doing at the moment, yeah. So this is, like I said, my test model. I bought them for like £1 each, yeah, 50 odd, as many as there were in the store at that stage. And you know, he's just a very vanilla Space Marine. You know, the only other color than green, black and gold and metallic is the red eyes. And of course, you know, the little, what do you call them, the purity seals. Yeah, but you know, I have in here, this is a 3D printed guy that I did a little bit of conversion. I added him this cannon on his arm so it can flip and shoot as well. So he's like a breacher. He actually have the Black Templars shoulder pads, yeah. And if you listen to when I was talking about my own chapter, they're basically scavengers, so they're gonna be using anyone's shoulder pads as well. You know, they are the unlucky chapter, so they got everyone who got injured in the battle, you know, too many times sent to them. Yeah. In here we have one of the rivers, yeah, halfway done. What I need to do, clean up the browns in here, add metallics on those ones, and do the skull on the head, yeah, because I really want to just do the skull, and then of course red eyes, yeah. And when you look at the belly, that gray that I use is a little bit too bright, so you're gonna have to use a little bit of a wash to clean it out, and that pretty much comes to every single model. Yeah, but I do actually have a lot of them. Like I have, I think, a full box of rivers. This is a conversion from the, the old Space Marines, the pre-primaries. So you can see that he's smaller, staunchier, yeah, but he have like mechanical arm in here. This is a converted bolter to be more of a sniper rifle. He's actually using a Chaos Space Marine head. And of course this conversion, you know, with the cannon that I love. Like I really want more of those cannons because this couldn't work, you know. If I do it on the other side, it's not gonna work, and then if you flip it, you know, the entire what do you call it, magazine gonna be just hanging downwards and they kind of look odd, yeah. But other than that, it's just a very cool looking conversion. And in here we have another 3D printed one, yeah. This one is bulkier. It have, you know, those kind of, you know, special legs, and I can see that there was like, you know, some problems with the 3D printing, but that's on one of my old machines, and you know, it's still a decent model. And then we have one of those in here. He is 3D printed as well. The only way that you can really say that he's 3D printed, other than, you know, some of the mismatches, is that belly in here. Yeah, there is no details on the belly. It's just flat, you know. It might be because, you know, that tabard is expanding there, but I don't really see it. Yeah, but again, nice little model. Then we have one of my flamethrower guys. Yeah, as you can see, you know, the color scheme is actually turning out so well with sponging, you know. You know, there's gonna be a lot of work on this little part, yeah, because the flamethrowers, I suck at them. But yeah, as you can see, I finally pick up the brush. So yeah, there we have next river. I actually missed, you can see that I missed in here brown, so I'm gonna be correcting that. And the backpack is gone. I have no clue where it is. So I'm gonna have to look for those parts and fix him up. But he is in the painting process as well. Then we have another one of those 3D printed guys that I use as a test for my color scheme. And of course his knife broke down, but you know, I don't really mind. He is just a line filler. So I have more of them. I would probably have to apply some shoulder pads to these minis, because they are not exactly Space Marines, but they could fit in fairly well. Another one of the rivers in here. Yeah, again, that belly is so bright that I really need to wash it down. Yeah. And you know, for me picking up brush to paint miniatures first time in a year pretty much, it's a good thing. So we have in here like an officer for the rivers. I think it was one of those you know, clipping, easy clip minis. Yeah, and I can see that, you know, the arm is going off, so it probably should be a little bit tighter. So sometimes I do the white shoulder pads. That's for a different chapters, because like I said, they are a mixture of chapters, you know, and they can keep the shoulder pad from the original chapter. Yeah, and they can keep, like, you know, I have somewhere a Blood Angel one in here. I think this one is Death Company. Yeah, so this is a Death Company shoulder pad that we're gonna have to paint. And you know, that was the entire conversion on this model, just adding him a Death Company shoulder pad. Yeah, I have a lot of models that are not converted in the slightest. This is another one of the regular rivers, and you know, they do look different. That's the thing that I like, you know. Another one, you know, I love the amount of the, you know, grenades and everything, because I want them to be this kind of a breacher's team. Yeah, and of course another one of those, we already showed that one. Well, that type of scope. And we have another one of the rivers here. Yeah, just I think that I need like 3 or 4 more layers of paint and I'm gonna be done. This one is an odd one, so I don't remember who designed those Space Marines, but it is basically 3D printed legs, 3D printed torso, 3D printed head, and then we have regular arms. Yeah, this one is actually from Adeptus Mechanicus, one of the mechanical arms, and this one is that converted bolters that I like to do, you know, sometimes a sniper bolter. And then I added a cape from something, I don't remember exactly what, just, you know, under his backpack. He is odd, he is stodgy, he is kind of, you know, Night Marine, really, not really Space Marine, more of a Night Marine. And I think that, you know, that I'm gonna be painting a Templar cross on his face, just to make it better. And you know, if you even compare him size-wise, yeah, to a river, yeah, this one is already, you know, to the side, so rivers are about half head taller, or maybe even a head taller. But you know, he would fit in the mix. You have another one of those, you know, he's drawing a knife, and you can see that this one is actually the Blood Angel that I told you about. Here, Blood Angel shoulder pad, there is like a blood vials. And in here, you have one of those blood vials, you know, reliquaries from the Blood Angels as well. So that's another one. This one, very nice open pose, very easy to paint. Yeah, I actually prefer this open pose than, you know, those ones with the bolter, when they're holding the bolter so close to the chest. But with those minis, I don't really glue them, so I can remove the bolter arm, you know, and give myself a little bit more of an option to paint. And of course another one. Yeah, I still have to apply metallics and everything. There's gonna be a little bit more work, I would say about 3-4 more hours, and I'm gonna be done with them. Yeah, and this one, so that's the last one of, not the last one, that's the second to last, because I have as well this captain. Yeah, what's happening here, he broke off the cross that he had on top. Well, I did. So this guy is a little bit, you know, under construction, and I have his 2 arms, which, you know, are nothing really to write home about. Yeah, but it's a decent collection of minis. As well, I've been working a little bit on the Goliath. So yeah, this is one of the Stormcast Eternals. He has been he has been converted to my Goliath gang. Yeah, giant gun in here, orcish arms and everything. He is still, of course, he have to be even touched by paint in the first place. And then I have another, idea. I'm converting jackals into the Goliath. So this is my first very, very gentle conversion. So I just built this guy as intended. So torso and hands and the backpack as intended. I swapped the head for a different jackal head that actually have this, chaos mohawk. Yeah, because, my guys, yeah, the Goliath. And in here I added him some grenades, this little knee, leg protector and the shoulder pad. It's a very, very small conversion, but I think it's gonna work, for one of my Goliath bruisers. And again, I don't play the game, so I don't have to stick to the rules. Yeah, so there you go. And that's it. That's it for this video, so you know what is going on my desk. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day and take care. Bye.